Hey, what's up? It's Shane here. This is gonna be my first video, and just gonna be making a bunch of these, thinking about or talking about, well, mostly whatever I feel like I have an opinion on. Uh, Mostly it's gonna be talking about D&D or tabletop games, but I may also just think of, hey, I want to talk about movies or comics or something else that I'm probably going to, most definitely going to try and stay away from touchy subjects like religion or politics because, one, I have no interest in them. I have no interest in any form of organized religion for the most part, or politics in general. I think most people who want to be in charge of things are scumbags. Like, if someone wants to tell you how to live your life and shit like that, I think they have their own issues. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and avoid those kind of subjects. But for my first video, I would talk a little bit about my favorite game, Dungeons and Dragons. I was introduced to it by my friend Howard. I'd say about 7 years ago. I'm gonna say about 7 years ago. I started playing 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Oh, 4th edition, it's awful. Why did you play it? Honestly, I had a lot of fun, and with that one, I'll get into why I like 4th edition in a later video, because it gets so much hate that I believe it deserves a video all on its own. But what I wanted to talk about was kind of something that I learned during my first time playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons as the DM, as the Dungeon Master, or running my own game. And, well, I ran a one shot, and that was a lot of fun. It was a little painful because it was on Halloween, and we were working around everyone's schedule, and we just ended up pushing through. And by the end, we were just happy to be done with it, because it was 1 a.m. and we were all tired and had to work the next day. Yeah, it was probably not the best first experience as a DM, but we all had a lot of fun with that one. But what I really want to talk about is my first time running a campaign. So, running a game, I was unable to purchase any of the module books. It was just buying all of the 3 core rule books. Had sent me back $150, and I was just like, I can't spend another $50 at this point in time to buy an adventure module. Also, I got inspired by another YouTuber, and he's named Matt Colville, who you probably know if you're a fan of the online community for D&D. He's a fantastic guy. I have not had the fortune to meet him, but from all of the videos, seems like he's a great guy. He's an independent fantasy author. I love his books. They're fantastic. Go pick those up on Amazon. If you like reading and fantasy, they're really fun. though I do really wish the main character in the first book would stop being so down on himself because he was short. But that's neither here nor there, and I'm kind of rambling. These are kind of going to be stream of consciousness videos, where I'm going to be talking about a specific subject and then just coming out with it. So, as I was saying, I was inspired by Matt Colville. Well, I was inspired by Matt Mercer, who runs Critical Role, which is a fantastic series, and I really need to catch back up on that. But I was inspired by them to make my own world, and so I decided I was going to make a fun seafaring adventure, or I was going to make the land where this all took place, an archipelago. It was just going to be this big cluster of islands. It was fantastic conceptually, but I feel like I was a bit ambitious with it. I tried not to make the mistake of world building everything, and in my haste to try not to overworld build, I ended up underworld building. So, and when it came up to the higher levels, when it came into plot for pirates and things like that, and I didn't have a full grasp on how pirate politics worked, how that worked out, how also my players didn't seem to really like being on the ocean too much, and so the campaign, it was a lot of fun. Everybody had a lot of fun, but there was a few things I learned from that benefited me both as a dungeon master and as a player. One of the things I learned was about character creation. I learned that you can have a really cool character concept, but sometimes you need to make a character that's going to fit well for the game that you're playing. And we had a bard in that campaign who his name was Gabriel, and he was just a complete asshole. There is no kinder way of saying it. And he was an asshole to everyone. I later found out that my friend who played him, and this man is still my friend, he had a troublesome character, and he wasn't, and I'm going to be complaining about his character a lot, but he himself is one of my closest friends. I love him to death, and he just made a character who was difficult for everyone to work with. So I'm not going to say this was a troublesome player. This was a troublesome character. And so I ran this game, and this character, he was just an ass to everyone. Even another character who was playing his brother. They were doing the brothers thing. One was a paladin, one was a bard. Heard it if you've ever heard that joke. Of I can't smite him, he's not evil. Well, I can't smite him, he's not evil. I can't smite him, mother wouldn't approve. But yeah, he had this criminal background, and from what the player told me later on, he was actually hoping for a redemption arc and having character development and getting to trust everyone. But unfortunately, this is a rule that I think everyone should have. You can have a character who's a bit standoffish and a bit abrasive, but what you really need to do is make sure that they are not unlikable. They need to have something that's likable about them. Um, Gabriel did not. He insulted everyone that he met, and he was untrusting. He even when he went out to a religious figure, a major religious figure, and legitimately asked how to start down the road to redemption, and his tone was so condescending that I misread that he was being genuine. I would admit that's kind of my fault as the DM, but his tone inferred that he was just being a jerk to this old man, and was just kind of being a condescending dick to him. So that started a bit of drama, and that it all came to a head eventually when he when he talked to this NPC who was a owner of an illegal casino. Who he was trying to look for some information on a big bad for that particular story arc, and this person was not being helpful, not because they were being mean to them, but because they were legitimately afraid of the NPC. They were afraid of the villain, and told them that they didn't want anything to do with that. Like, with some smooth talking and maybe even some more investigation, and they would have been more helpful, but he just ended up leaving the establishment and going off and continuing some adventures for a bit, then coming back, and when the villain found out that this person was talking to him, and they tortured this person and left them there, like, nearly dead. The plan was to have the party save that person, and that person would become an ally and hopefully help them out on their journey. Unfortunately, the character of Gabriel was just so... he was so resentful of the fact that this person didn't want to help that he cast vicious mockery under his breath. And so he kind of whispered vicious mockery. Honestly, distant whispers is probably what I should have said he would do. But he ended up murdering this person. Just straight up committed an act of murder, which everyone at the table did not like. So, and yes, that fit in well with the character, but if you want to make this just kind of drew the line for everyone in the party for that. And so basically what I'm trying to get at, and for at least what lesson I learned from this, is don't have an unlikable character. You can have a character who's abrasive and uncooperative at first, but at first is the key. They have to be able to play along with the rest of the party. It is a cooperative game. D&D is meant for everyone to have fun, not just you. I hope you found this video a little bit informative, and I'll definitely be making another one once I have something else to talk about. All right, bye guys.